Welcome back to more Love Bakudan. Last episode we had a lovely date with Himiko, and turns out that she is a little bit of a naughtier side, because after the date she sent us a rather racy pic, which YouTube does not like apparently, as I've come to find out. But that's okay. The following morning came and the sunlight gently broke through the window. What a lovely, beautiful day it is to be alive. My pants were still down. My phone was completely drained too. I guess I had fallen asleep without locking it for the night. I didn't even remember stopping touching myself from how horny that it all made me. And honestly, I was glad. Himiko did a good job of making sure I already wanted more. I wish with all my heart that I could have been there in the bathroom with her when she took that picture. Hey, I was never averse to fucking on the first date. Ugh. My head hurt though. I rubbed the side of my sore head as I pulled up my pants, swinging my legs over the side of the bed and plugged my phone in to charge for the day. If I had been hoping to see Himiko in my store before, I certainly was hoping for it with all that I had now. I wonder where this left us. More so than anything else, did she want a relationship with me, or did she just want sex? The latter was definitely true, but I also kind of wanted the former to be true also. As I got up to walk to the bathroom, the realization of just how much I liked Himiko, dirty pictures notwithstanding, hit me with full force. I really did like her a lot. I had a crush on her already as it was, but now I was overwhelmingly sexually attracted to her. I was willing to take the plunge, though. Anything that meant I got to spend more time closer to her. Every single part of me was praying with everything I had that I'd see her again today. It was such an amazing night, and it was spent on my own, too. Sex really was going to be amazing, wasn't it? Probably. I ran a hand through my hair as the regulars began to filter in, and the customers along with it over the next couple of hours. I would have been lying if I said that my mind was anywhere besides solely on Himiko and everything about her. Did she feel shy or regretful about sending me that, or did she feel more confident than ever? She was so hard to gauge. But that made her even more of a delight to me. I wanted to unwrap her now more than ever. Excuse me. Oh, how can I help you? Oh, yeah, we got work to do. I was forcibly removed from my overwhelmingly horny bubble as a customer came up, and dropped right into the center of erotica book recommendations. Let's begin. Can I help you with anything, miss? Hi there, I love eccentric people. People who want to do bizarre things. I have a crush on my neighbor who's just like that, in case you were wondering. It's real interesting. Can you give me a book about an eccentric character? Let's see here. It's gotta be this one, right? Well, let's check them all. I was on to be heading on stage. Hot girl group on the scene. Adored by everyone. I mean, it's... big that might be one. Let's see. Grew up together in the city. I found their friendship growing stronger. Given the crazy hustle bustle of modern life, the one constant is each other. Yada yada yada. Managed to persuade Sakura to visit a hot spring with her. Not really sure what to expect, but will boss me further. Okay, let's try this one. Working as a photographer for famous celebrities can get surprisingly tiring. At least that's what Piranka thinks to herself. Bored to death photographing the same old scenes. It's a breath of fresh air. Getting a client like Borgilde Santos demanding odd things of her, from wanting the blood of her enemies as her backdrop to needing Piranka sitting on her face for creative inspiration. But you can tell this is going to be one client she won't forget in a hurry. This is pretty good. Yeah, right? Here you go. I don't think it gets much more eccentric, actually. Oh, this is perfect, thank you. I'll paint a dozen roses blue in your name. Okay. Hey, superstar. I see you're... Oh, yeah, hey, Say. I see you're making a killing over here. Hey there, Say. You're here for a buck rather than a friendly visit, I guess. Can it be both, or do I have to be hostile? Hostilities only, I'm afraid. Hey, fucker. So I was sitting around home jamming out on the guitar when I felt a flash of inspiration for a song. Well, I want to buy a book about high school sweethearts. Writing a song made you want to come buy a dirty book? Oh, the song's about a couple that's been together since they were young, and... But I figured you have like 1,000 books about that. It's a cute idea for a song. I can't wait to hear it. You can't listen to it. It's too personal. Is it now? You can write then? Shut up and give me my book! These titles are great. High school sweethearts. I mean, it's gotta be this one, right? Grew up together in the city. Well, it's gonna be this one. This is just high school sweethearts. Yeah, it's gonna be this one. I was like, exactly what you're looking for. Want to give it a spin? Whoa, look at you, a bona fide erotica seller. I knew I could count on you, Haruka. You rule. Awesome, she loved it. So I heard this place has the rumored manga collection I've been looking for. Huh? Wow, they look shifty. Muscle Babes Volume 1, do you have it? It's right here. Right, Muscle Babes 1. Here you go. This is it. Is this... Oh, she snatched it right out of my hands, but she paid me somehow. Well, alright. She loved it. Could you give me a book about a girl who's not all she seems? Those are my favorites. Okay. This might be it. Yeah, what's this one? Girls not always seems. Let's see. Iris finds both herself and very night economies together. They should be anywhere near each other. Next 74 years are forced to be deciding to try and put their differences aside through their new lives. Doesn't always go that way, but when Iris keeps a diary of exploration across the continent of Brevere, she finds she also happens to double the tale of just how she feels. That's not right the same. When she decides to look into the strange noises happening behind her house, she's shocked to find that 3 sexy women are walking right out of a UFO. One of the women in question takes immediate attraction to Gina to begin a passionate relationship. Both her sisters. It's gotta be this one, right? Yep. Yep, Yandere. Yandere's really are kind of scary, huh? Bet it fit like a glove. Oh, yes. This is perfect. I think she liked it. She loved it. Beautiful. Woo! People continued to line up at the counter for quite some time. It was like a revolving door. People hungry for erotica. I was kept pretty busy. That was a lot of work. I wonder how much I sold. Wow, everyone who came to the counter walked away with something. I'm pretty good at this, huh? I've been really interested in a lot of this book. The look of this book. Sorry, I think I earned the right to take it home with me. Oh, which one did we get? Oh, Devil's Trap, Volume 2. I didn't read Volume 1. Ooh, with the last customer asking for recommendations heading out the door, I sat down for a moment before the bell rang once again, and I was delighted with just the sight I'd been hoping for all along. It's Himiko! She stood before me in front of the door she'd entered through with an increasingly familiar look on her face. Haruka, hello. She smiled at me and that blush on her face. Oh, it was like sending me giddy. I felt like I'd taken a lust-fueled drug that I couldn't get out of my system. I rushed out from behind the counter to walk right up to her. She giggled to herself quietly and shuffled over to the manga section as though she were trying to keep our conversation subtle. The way she looked back over her shoulder coyly, but with a knowing glint in her eye, it only made my heart race faster. With a cheeky smirk of my own, I followed one step behind her. Hey, nice to see you again. It is. Himiko, that picture. Holy shit. You liked it? Liked it? I spent the entire night making good use of it. Himiko chuckled again as she looked right into my eyes with a dark, soulful expression of hers. Good, I'm very glad to hear that. Ugh, you really are something else, you know? Himiko smiled at me, and smiled in such a way that suggested she was both very proud of herself and also a little embarrassed. But there was something else there, too. A different kind of happiness that rests behind the enamored blush. Excitement? Grabbing my hands boldly as though she hadn't been far too shy to do that yesterday, she looked up into my eyes again and beamed brighter than I'd ever seen. To be honest, it took my breath away a little. I felt so silly. Haruka, I got accepted in the competition! That's great! Oh, the manga one! Yes, I'm so happy. That's fantastic, Himiko. Congratulations. Eh. I picked Himiko up in my arms and spun her around as she giggled to herself, and I felt her chest pressed against mine, as if I wasn't happy enough already. Wow. That's seriously amazing. I knew you'd smash the competition out of the park. Thank you, Haruka. I couldn't wait to tell you. I didn't want to do it over text. I think you've done plenty over text, if you ask me. Himiko blushed after startling red and shook her head hastily. Don't go embarrassing me. Now there's the girl I know. Huh. So what's next for you, Himiko? Do you have to go to Tokyo? Oh, not yet. I actually... Pausing in her tracks, Himiko's eyes flickered up to look at mine again before looking away rather shyly at the floor. Torn between the desire to fuck her and the other to just kiss her. I was having a real roller coaster of time with emotions today. What is it? Himiko fiddled with the hem of her sweater before she shook her head quickly and squeezed her eyes tightly closed. Her hands quickly took my own and hers all over again before she blurted out. Haruka, I want to ask you for your help. I looked at her in surprise and held her hands tightly in my own. I could tell the elderly woman in the corner were having a field day trying to work out just what kind of relationship we had. For some reason, the thought made me feel very smug. My help? Yes, I have a lot to do, and I don't know if I can do it all on my own. Himiko looked at me in earnest, and I raised an eyebrow as I stood before her. She looked so serious compared to the cute girl that had been fussing cats yesterday, and even hotter version of herself that had sent me a racy photo. This must really be important to her. Well, what could I do to help? Not in a dismissive way, I just don't really know about these things. You trust me with something of this magnitude? Of course, you know all about what I want to do with my life. Himiko paused and blushed again. You know better than anyone, actually. Himiko? Aww. Well, how could I possibly say no to that? Himiko blinked twice as she looked at me and tilted her head to the side. Huh? Just tell me what you need and I'll do whatever it takes to help. Just let's make your dream come true. Oh, Himiko's face took a moment to realize just what I was saying before eventually I watched as her expression lit up with delight. Haruka, oh, thank you. She wrapped her arms around me and buried her face in my neck, and as I felt the cold rims of her glasses pressing against my skin, I also felt the warm, full press of her torso against mine, and I would have been lying if I said I wasn't unbearably horny all over again. Yeah, no problem. You've been so kind to me, I don't know how I can ever repay you. I can think of a way, I thought to myself as I smirked internally. I shook my head and placed my hands over the curves of her hips as she kept her arms over my shoulders. I wondered if she was wearing that in underwear today. But listen, just tell me what you need and I'll help you with it as best I can. I might make a few mistakes though. I'm not especially good at drawing, but I'll... Oh no, it's nothing to do with the actual drawing parts. Wait, it's not? I need you to write my story. Okay, now that was something that took me by surprise. Me? Write your story? Yes, Haruka. I'm terrible at writing. I just can't do that part on my own. Are you sure? You've never even read my writing. I know your writing will be good. This is you we're talking about after all. That same cheekily devilish smile came across her face again, and I watched as her cheeks blushed along with it. Oh yeah, is that right? Yes. Couldn't help but chuckle as Himiko bit her thumb slightly. It's hard to keep your mind out of the gutter when someone this irresistible keeps dragging her right back into it. As I closed my eyes to try and quash some of the horny feelings I was experiencing, I nodded and squeezed her hips as she stood before me. Ah. Alright, you win. I'll totally help you out. But you have to promise not to laugh at my writing, okay? You really mean it? Well, what will it entail? How are we gonna do it? Well, we'd probably have to stay at one of our respective places just for the ease of access for a few days. Ease of access, you say? Not like that, Haruka. I laughed as Himiko blushed again, but even I could see she was smiling. Sorry. No, I mean, well, working on a manga takes a lot of work. The morning till night job, and there's a little room for breaks, especially if we're going to get this done within a week. Well, I mean, it's not the whole series that he's doing in a week, right? Just the first chapter? Yes, but do you know about the time frames for artists? I blinked, a little ashamed of my lack of knowledge on the subject, and rubbed the back of my neck. I can't say that I do, I'm afraid. Okay, well, even famous manga artists have said that it takes them roughly 3 hours to work on a single page. I've had a few one-shots published before, as well as dabbling in some doujinshi on the side, and it takes me about the same amount of time, if not a little longer, depending on how much action there is on one page. 3 hours for one page? Yes, and the competition wants what would be my debut chapter, so it would be extra length, too. Holy shit. How many pages are we talking here? Himiko shuffled around meekly and adjusted her glasses atop her face. About, well, roughly 40 pages. Oh, felt my soul leave my body. 40? Sorry, I shouldn't have. No, not for me, for your sake. Himiko taken aback that I genuinely cared for her well-being. And honestly, my horniness aside, it really was true. That was an astonishing amount of work to accomplish in just 1 week, especially on her own. 40 pages at 3 hours each, my mind boggled at the number, so that's 120 hours, give or take a few. I think so, yes. That's like... This has to be done in by 10 days from now. 10 days?! We have to finish it in 7, huh? Yes, just because of the mail and everything. Oh gosh, I tapped my chin and made a noise of contemplation. This is gonna be a hell of a lot of work. Haruka, I understand if you can't help me. No, it's not that. I'm just trying to work out the math of it all. If we have to work 120 hours in 7 days, then we'd get 4 hours of sleep a day. Yes, not counting when we eat and shower, too. Holy shit, mangaka work is really hard, huh? I try. I smiled at Himiko, who was looking back at me in such earnestness. Yes. Himiko, this is your dream, right? He looked at me in surprise and nodded. Yes, this is all I've ever wanted to do with my life. The idea of just drawing for a living, working in such a solitude with just me and all my characters, it's all perfect. You really thought this through then? Yes. And consider my mind made up. I'm in. You mean it? Oh, of course. Just let me pack a bag tonight and I'll come and stay at your place. Oh, Haruka, thank you so much. That's wonderful. I can't believe it. We're really gonna do this together. Himiko made a girlish noise of delight and I found myself smiling along with her. It made my heart sing to see her so happy. You bet. We're gonna knock this out of the park. You're gonna win. I hope so. We will win, Himiko. I promise. We're gonna make this happen for you. I don't know why I felt so strongly. How are we running the store? Who's gonna run the store? Of course, I thought she was hot as fuck, and the obvious of wanting to sleep with her was very much there. But this felt so much more different than just sexually motivated, you know? I felt such an unshakable sense of pride for her. A strong sense of determination and courage that I wanted to instill in her. And I wanted to bring her up to the top of the manga world just like she wanted. I really wanted to do all these things for her. I felt a genuine sense of desire to help her achieve her dream. And if this meant that the two of us could get closer in the meantime too, then well, that was just a bonus. Haruka, you have no idea how happy you've made me. Of course. I'd do anything to see a gorgeous girl like you smile. You're cute, Himiko. As though I hadn't been sent a lewd picture by this girl just hours ago, here she was, back to her usual shy, bumbling self. I chuckled as I waited, watched her giddily fluster in my arms and looking back round hastily to the front door before looking back at me. Okay. Wow, I guess I have a lot of work to sort out. Back at home. Oh yeah? I need to tidy up before you can see inside of my apartment. I laughed. You weren't expecting me to say yes? No, of course not. I thought you would be scared off by the offer, really. Me? Scared off? Do you know what kind of business I decide to run for a living? Come on. Not a lot phases me anymore, not even the promise of getting 4 hours of sleep a day. I'm practically running on 4 hours of sleep these days. Oh, it's awful. And you're sure, truly? I placed my hands up from Himiko's hips and onto her shoulders and firmly looked into her eyes. Himiko, I wouldn't want to miss something like this for the world. With a tiny enamored gasp from her lips, I felt like the world was melting around us. This girl had such a power over me as it was. I was honestly a little scared of just how much harder I'd fall for her, seeing her working so passionately towards her dream. Himiko nodded, a firm, resolute nod, and placed her hands on my face nervously. I have to go. I have to clean and set up a place for you to write and a bed. Yes, I mean, we can just share. There was a slight noise of impression from the elderly woman in the corner. Himiko flushed a fire truck right as she flustered. Haruka? Come on, it was worth a shot. Well, I never said no. Oh my. Would you three stop that? I'll see you later. Come to my place around 7? You got it, I'll be there. Himiko smiled at me as she nodded, deliberately averting her eyes from the elderly woman in the corner who had been hanging on to every word whether we wanted them to or not. She quickly hurried herself out the store, shooting me back an affectionate glance as she closed the door. I let out a love-struck sigh and the elderly women were cooing as they looked at me. Mishima, you and that girl, you are match made in heaven. You two will get married, mark my words, marriage is imminent. Ah, young love, it's so... This is just like one of my novels. Do well to keep your noses to yourself, thank you, even if the compliments from you are very sweet. The elderly woman chuckled at my well-meaning fluster and went back to chattering over the cakes and books. I took a seat behind the stool, my face red hot with delight, and slipped my hands into my pockets. Himiko. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen between us now. Hey, you, give me some sexy book recommendations right now. Ah, okay. Keeping on my feet, another customer came right up to the counter to ask for erotic books. Today was a busy day. Okie dokie. Hello there. Do you have anything about artsy woman? I'm so weak for them. Alright. Anime serial permanent markers or contacts. Uses great ultimate master. This is probably artsy. That's this one. Here you go. Oh, she is artsy. That's beautiful. Thank you. Sweet, she loved it. Oh, hello. He seems a bit intimidating. Who's this? Hi there. Do you get anything in particular? A book with battles in it, please. I can't picture her being that kind of girl. Nothing like a good fighting scene to get the blood pumping. Good thing, I'll see what we've got. Absolute pain and a submission. One good hero called light. This begins to dispatch knights of order. Take it. Yeah, it's gotta be this one, right? This would be perfect. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Shinami. That's an interesting name. Come again soon. How polite. You loved it. Hey, lady, can you give me a sci-fi story? I want to read about sexy aliens or whatever. Alright. Cell sword. I mean... That's kind of sci-fi. Superhero? It's sci-fi, right? That's not sci-fi, is it? Is that kind of sci-fi? Intergalactic treasure hunters. It's gotta be this one, right? Treasures of the Abyss. No, that's the one I know for a fact is a sci-fi story and a good one too. Maybe I'll read it for myself later. Ooh. Interplanetary travel and sex is everything I'm looking for and so much more. They loved it. This is a request, but I'm not very good at talking to girls. Anything that would help would be good. I'm not sure if you got anything that fits the bill, but I'll do what I can. Sexy trips and tricks. Do you need help getting laid? Girlfriend's not choking you hard enough. They don't want to get laid, they just want to talk to girls, right? Let's see what the other ones are. This popular blogger taking pride in her specific. Maybe it is this one. Oh, you know. This would be perfect. Here you go. One perfect guide on how to woo the woman of your dreams. Thank you so much. I could finally become the goddess I was born to be. I loved it. Spelling complete. People continued to line up the counter for quite some time. It was like a revolving door. People hungry for erotica. I was kept pretty busy. Ooh, that was a lot of work. Wonder how much I sold. Ah, everyone who came up the counter walked away with something. I'm pretty good at this, huh? I've been really interested in the look of this book. I think I've earned the right to take it home with me. Ooh. That was tough, and so with another round of books under my belt, the end of my day quickly came after that, and I'd been counting down the seconds from the very moment Himiko had left my arms. The sunset outside was a beautiful burning orange over the ocean, and it had made for a perfect viewing for couples down on the beach. While I was packing a bag in my room, I could hear them laughing and giggling as they chatted amongst themselves. I felt the well of excitement spring inside my heart all over again. This new adventure was cool. I was now a huge part of something that could potentially change someone else's life. That was something that meant more to me than I could ever realize. And then there was Himiko, the girl that had taken my life by storm, and so effortlessly too. Whether it had been through just being her genuine self in person or her sexually authentic self over the phone, I loved it all. I felt like it was still a little early for me to be confessing being in love, but if they continued like this, there was no way I was getting out of this one anytime soon. Okay, I got my clothes, my phone, some bathroom stuff, assessing the contents of my bags before me, and it seemed like I was all ready for my 7-day stay at Himiko's. It was going to be grueling work, of that I was sure, but it was also going to be wonderful to be able to just be with her. I felt a little corny for thinking that to myself, given that my usual attraction with relationships was anything but this sentimental. With Himiko, it certainly was. I swung the bag over my shoulder as I closed the bedroom door behind me and began to make my way out of Bakudan Books. Crisp ocean breeze had always felt so good against my face. Couples before me down by the beach were everything I'd been expecting. In varying ages and walks of life, they were all at the very least sharing in one thing: happiness. The view of the sunset was beautiful. It looked like a giant glittering topaz reflected in the dark waters below. That was able to make anyone feel at least a little romantic, even me. Himiko. I wish she could have been standing there with me. The fact remained that I was going to see her right this second, and I was very happy either way. My feet began to excitedly carry me down the side of the red light district, as I breezed past the onlookers, the club goers, and the regulars of the parlors that littered along the side of the beach. I could hardly wait. My bag bounced off my back as I walked with a spring in my step, positive and upbeat about the future inside my heart. As I continued down the strip, I took a turn down towards the residential district that led into town and towards the train station I had arrived at on my return back to Akiyama. I scratched my head, remembering the directions it took to get to Himiko's place, before I bumped into somebody as I was lost in my thoughts. Who is this somebody? Well, we're going to find out next time on Bakudan Books, also called Love Bakudan, which is actually the name of the game. So I will see you next time. Have a good day, everybody, and as always, take care.